All right, welcome back to another episode of Life in the Borough. I'm your host, Ben Edwards. Thanks for joining us today. We've got a very special guest in-house. He is very well known in town, and we're very excited to have him. The Burger Daddy. Please welcome to the program, Tanner Allred. Thanks for joining us, Tanner.
Hello.
It's good to see you, man. You're always about 50 yards away from me, but you haven't been here yet, so welcome.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. Now, we got a lot to talk about today. Your reputation precedes you here. Everybody in town seems to know you.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, he's all decked out with this stuff here. I want to ask a lot about Food of Dreams. But also, if you guys don't know, Tanner is the owner of Food of Dreams. It's the hamburger truck in the food truck here in downtown Whitesboro. And you've been there from day one. Is that correct?
This is my almost fourth year. Every peanut festival is a new year.
Oh, is that when?
Yeah, I started during the peanut festival, almost 4 years ago.
And who was here at the time with you? There was Maya was here from the.
No, it was the yeoman, the hibachi truck.
Oh yeah, hibachi.
I got him to come here, and he came first.
And then there was a Mexican truck, right?
Yeah, it was Rodrigo's Tacos.
Yeah. And did that have like a different name at the beginning? What'd they call it? Something different?
I don't know. He was at Happy Stop, but he came over to the. I don't know if it's called Happy Stop anymore. The gas station used to be called Happy Stop.
Yeah, it's Happy Stop.
Yeah, so he came over from there because it was a cool little setup that we were starting.
And I know that there was a barbecue truck right at the beginning.
Yep, Papa's Pits Barbecue.
And then later, of course, there was the pizza truck, and then they left kind of out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. I don't really know what happened. I think this is a little expensive.
Yeah. And then, but it's been this group for quite a while now.
Yep, Maya's Tacos, me, and Namaku Hibachi.
Yeah. How many times did you have to say that before you got it right?
I had to think about what it was said on his truck so I could memorize it.
Now, you are a lifelong Whitesboro resident, but you don't currently reside in Whitesboro, right?
No, I'm trying to come back. I want to eventually maybe have a little restaurant here.
Yeah?
That's my long-term goal. It's a little hard, because I either A, need to win the lottery, or B, have an investor.
Right.
Or, and then that's the whole point. So I have like my ideas of where I want it or what I want it to look like, but it's just kind of just in my head right now and wrote down on paper.
Now, you've had this, we talked about this in the past, that you've had this goal for quite a while to own your own restaurant here in town. Mm-hmm. Where did you eat growing up here? Where were your staples?
There was Dairy Queen, that's now Tender's Barbecue being built. Then you had Simple Simon's Pizza, where Maxwell's is being built.
Where everything is being built.
And then there was a place called Casa Morales that was over by the Ford House, and it tragically burnt down.
Now, that's the one that was right next to where Tender is now, in between Tender and...
No, it was in between both of the places where you buy your vehicles, Ford and the Chevy. There's a hotel.
Yeah.
There's you'll see it if you actually drive over there. There is a concrete slab just sitting there. That was where the Mexican restaurant was. They were open early in the morning for breakfast, lunch and dinner. I worked there. I mean, I've worked almost everywhere in Whitesboro, but that was one of my first waiting table jobs. I would go to work at 5 a.m. for breakfast, leave at 8 o'clock to go to school, and then come back and work the night shifts after basketball practice or baseball.
This is in high school then?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So what was your first job?
My first job was in the restaurant business, was Simple Simon's Pizza.
Really?
I lied and said I was 16 so I could get a job. I was 14.
14?
Yeah, I was 14.
And you're not that much older than that now. You're like 20, 22.
Yeah, close.
Yeah. You graduated. What year did you graduate?
2003.
2003. Okay.
Yeah.
Who'd you go to school with? Who were your friends in school?
You have Berkeley O with MB Electrics.
Sure. And he did the work. His group did the work over here.
He did the work and put all the electricity inside of the building. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people. Some of them don't even live here anymore. I mean, Shauna Bowley, Justin Duncan, Brent Ramsey, Daniel Wood. His dad's the president at 4U Credit Union.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of I have friends, like a lot of them. I mean, I don't see them as much, but I know they're here.
Right. How often do you have people that you went to school with come to the truck to eat?
Periodically, I'll see someone I hadn't seen in 20 years. They'll just pop
Really?
up. Yeah. There was a guy that came up probably 2 weeks ago, and I was like, holy moly, I haven't seen you forever. And he's like, hey, and ordered his burger and left.
So what's it like working at 14?
I mean, I've just always worked. That was the motto of
Sure.
my dad: first work, then you play. So that's how I lived my life.
Yeah, I guess, I'm used to, if somebody gets a job at 14, they're either working like for a family business, or they're doing some kind of side hustle, or they're working on a ranch or farm or something,
Mhm.
But to have a regular like retail in a restaurant type thing,
Yeah.
that's.
I made
Were you tall for your age? How'd you get away with it?
actually no. I was a short, stumpy kid until my freshman year of high school. I went from like 4'11" to 5'9".
How tall are you now?
I'm 5'11", ish. I'll say 5'11".
That's not bad for a pitcher.
No,
Pedro Martinez is 5'10".
I wish I was taller, but it happens.
You righty?
I'm a righty, but I'm a left-footed. I kick left.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know. I just punted.
Left-footed.
I punted left on my left feet.
Did you play football?
I played football. I played all the sports here.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me about
baseball,
that.
basketball, football, tennis. I did cross country, powerlifting,
Which one was least interesting? Which one would you have given up?
cross country. I don't like running. That one was boring.
You like running from first to second? That's it?
Yeah, I mean basketball was my favorite sport.
Really?
Yeah, that's I could have made a basketball food truck.
What sport do you enjoy watching the most?
It just depends. I like college basketball, but I like going to baseball games. I mean, but it's kind of
You go to a lot of baseball games.
yeah. I like to go to the college level because it's more intense.
Mhm.
The coaches are firing you up.
The atmosphere is crazy.
Yeah, it's not as they're getting boring now in the pros.
Yeah.
One-on-one in basketball. Pitchers getting hurt after throwing.
Mm-hmm. 85 pitches?
Yeah, 85 pitches, and then they want $70 million. So.
Uh-huh. Nolan used to throw 180 pitches.
Oh yeah, that's
regularly.
my favorite player. That's my number.
Really?
34, all through high school.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this why it's facebook.com/foodofdreams.34?
Is that what it says?
Yeah. Here.
I guess so. Yeah.
Let's pull this up. Let's see some of this. Here we go. Food of Dreams. Yeah, up here. 34. Read this to us, will you?
Read it.
Yeah.
My name is Tanner Allred, W. Boro graduate of 2003. Been in the restaurant business for 20 plus years, all over DFW to Oklahoma. My passion for food and customer service will exceed your expectation, and I cannot wait to serve everybody and bring you back for more.
You get a ton of return customers. Yeah.
A lot of regulars, yes. I know what they want before they walk up.
Where have you worked in Oklahoma?
My cousin owns Swadley's Barbecue, and there's one in Ardmore is the closest one here, but they're all in like Oklahoma City, Edmond, Memorial. I lived in Bethany, Oklahoma. I moved there I think about a month after the tornadoes destroyed Moore, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
My
2011, 2012.
Yeah, 2011. My
Yeah.
cousin called me, hey, I need a manager. That was my first manager job.
Really?
I've been a waiter all my life until that point. He's like, I need a manager. And I was like, well, give me a couple of months to save up. He's like, nope, I already got you a place. You're ready to go.
Wow.
Come, I need you now. And I just moved there on the whim and worked there for 5 years, learning management.
Okay, where'd you go from there?
When I left Oklahoma, I randomly went to a Mexican restaurant in Fort Worth to eat for my cousin's 30th birthday.
Where was it?
Los Vaqueros in the stockyards.
Okay, yeah.
It's an old L-shaped building. They was a meat packing plant for butchered the cattle back in the 1800s. It's huge.
Yeah, I know of it. Yeah.
And I was eating there like, this is cool. Let's I'm gonna apply as a joke and put my price down what I want. And I'm a manager, and I gave it to the owner. Her name was Vicky Cisneros. I was like, is the owner here? And they're like, oh yeah, she's right over there. And I just walked up. My name's Tanner. I've been a manager for 5 years in Oklahoma.
Wow.
I'm trying to move back, blah, blah, blah. And she called me probably a week later. Hey, you got the job, or sorry, she called me and said, hey, I need to interview you. So I drove up here to Fort Worth, and she's like, okay, you got the job, And so I just moved back.
That's awesome.
I worked there for 2 years.
Now, where'd you live in Fort Worth at the time?
Haltom City.
Really?
I
Okay.
had an apartment there.
So before moving to Whitesboro, my wife and I lived in Keller, just right on the Keller-Fort Worth border, so North Richland Hills, that area. So Haltom City's right on, Watauga, that whole area.
I lived right off of what is the belt line, the 820.
820, yeah.
Yeah, I lived right in that area.
Have you been down there lately? Traffic.
Oh yeah, I drive through it periodically when I go visit friend.
Yeah, you go to DFW more than anybody else in Whitesboro, I'm pretty sure, other than
Yeah.
for work. You go down there for pleasure all the time. Like, you couldn't pay me to go back there.
Yeah,
I spent 40 years there. No way.
Yeah, I like to go Cowboys Red River, country dancing, and
sure.
I'll go to Fort Worth, go to Stockyards, go to the movies a lot.
Yeah. We, my wife worked downtown downtown Fort Worth in Sundance Square for a 4-day weekend. You know them? It's the comedy troupe. They have the building there. And I was good friends with the son at Joe T's. Joe and I had a podcast together for a few years, a sports podcast. You should watch it.
Dang.
And so we spent a ton of time at Joe T's, and it's weird to see the behind the scenes there, to get to see what the public doesn't see, because that's a massive thing, and we did a couple of remote podcasts from there, doing it in front of the crowd. That was pretty fun. But yeah, that's a fun area, the Stockyards as well as Sundance Square. Working down there is an interesting thing. It's like a totally different. How'd you adapt from growing up in Whitesboro to that type of environment?
Well, I had previously, I've had other jobs before that built up. We just bypassed probably about 10 jobs.
Oh yeah, well, let's hit those. What else did you do? Where'd you work here in town?
It's Simple Simons.
Okay.
Dairy Queen.
Yep.
And Casa Morales.
Okay,
that was the restaurant jobs. And then I also painted the fire hydrants in town when I was 15. Me and Daniel Wood. That was our I felt it was punishment, but we weren't old enough to use the weed whackers or anything for the city. So they're like, here's paint and here's a wheelbarrow.
Was this like a community service thing?
I felt like it. They're like, here's the buckets of paint, here's your wheelbarrow, now go paint the fire hydrants. There's 180 of them in town. Good luck. And they gave us a map, and we were just sitting there pushing a wheelbarrow.
Like by hand?
Yes.
Paintbrushes?
Yeah, it took us forever. And then they're probably still paint chips on them. But they wanted us to color corner different colors, like brown and yellow for this one because the water pressure, green and white. And then
Really?
Oh, it was bad.
What time of year was this? Summer?
Summer.
Oh.
So we're walking around painting them, just not caring, going to the next one and just throwing paint on them.
So if anybody sees a bad paint job,
you
can blame you.
Blame Daniel.
Blame him. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Growing up working here, you said you start working at 14, but you're also playing multiple sports. How do you balance all that through high school? That's tough. Everybody's had a job and played a few sports in high school, but that's a lot going on. If you're doing multiple sports.
Yeah, I guess because they would work with me. I would just come in really early, work, and then go to class, and then after athletics, I would leave. But we had it at different times. Like now, they get out super late. We were getting out at 4 or 5 o'clock. We were done. So I would go into work till 8 or 9.
Who were your coaches back then? Who do you remember?
I had Wyman Raper, and he was our JV basketball coach. I had Coach Spence was basketball, and then we had a lot of baseball coaches. They kept getting a new one each year, so it's kind of. But I had Coach Rupert and Coach Cole, not
the current,
not the current coach. It was his brother.
Gotcha.
Was our head coach at baseball.
Wow. Now, do you stay in contact with any of these folks?
I saw Coach Rupert when I actually have another side hustle. I basketball referee.
Okay, yeah.
Coach Rupert coaches at Calsburg. I saw him when I was reffing.
That's cool.
But that's a fun. I used to do that too. I started doing that when I was 16, and then I reffed for 9 years, and built my way up to the varsity level. But then I moved to Oklahoma.
Right,
so
gotcha.
I stopped, and now I'm back. And they said we could have facial hair, so I was like, I'll come back.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I didn't want to shave. Back then, you couldn't have facial hair.
What are you, the Yankees?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's 2025, right?
Yeah, I couldn't have any facial hair. I looked like a little sick child.
Yeah, I don't think I could deal. I barely have anything here, but I gotta tell you, without this, it's not good. I gotta have something there.
Yeah, it fell off like when I was 20 off my head into my face. That's what I just tell people.
That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. There we go. I'll get this on there. I moved here when I was 40, and I lived all my life in DFW, and coming here was a culture shock, but a good culture shock. I mean, this is, as I've said before, that we talk about this like we escaped DFW.
Yeah, it's
and that's
smaller town. It's not the bustling of Frisco and all that kind of traffic.
Yeah, and I mean, we're very happy here. But that's got to be a big transition, and now you're wanting to come back, yeah?
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I could buy my grandma's house right now and redo it, but it's just kind of the worth of buying it and then fixing it up is not worth how much the house would be worth.
Yeah. But where is it?
It's just on Center Street it's 503.
Well,
it's for sale right now.
Really? Well, I know your parents are here.
Yeah, they're on 303.
Oh, it's just further down.
It's just two
almost
houses down.
Oh, how do you get 200 more?
I don't know.
Two
they
houses
skipped
down?
them like 303, 405. So I think 6. I think they all skipped like each level. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I think it's because Bagan is right there.
Yeah,
and it's
probably
that. So you'd be 2 houses away.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like that, or would you not like that?
Oh, I like that.
You get along
I
great
like
with
mom's
your family.
cooking.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know I am adopted. I was adopted at 5
Is that
months
right?
old. Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know my real parents or anything. So.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, it was a closed adoption, but yeah, they were my parents.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 5 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How old were you when you found out? Have they always?
They've told me.
Always.
Always when I was little and stuff. So okay. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
That's great. I like your parents.
Yeah, I got my dad's height.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's only 5'2".
So tell me about his history, because I know he's got. If y'all don't know, he owns the boot shop. I guess a leather shop, boot shop. On 3rd Street here in town, just off of Union. He's been doing that forever, yeah.
Since he was 9. He's I think 66 now.
9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
How did he get into that?
My papaw.
Really?
Yeah, he fixed saddles and shoot horses and things like that, and whittled on leather stuff.
Wow.
Would fix shoes and repair it. So my dad went to college in Amarillo to learn the boot making trade, and then he came back, and
that's what he's always done.
Yeah, he's been doing it ever since.
How long has he had that store?
That I should know, and I don't. The building, the Kwanzaa hut on Union, that was their old boot shop.
Yeah, I think you've told me that.
And then whenever he left that, he got that building, and I cannot remember when, but it's been there a while. I don't know.
What are they doing with that Kwanzaa hut? It's getting new paint, all kinds of stuff.
I don't know. I think they just paint it periodically.
Really?
Yeah.
Who owns it?
I don't know. That's what I want to put a restaurant in.
That's a big place.
Yeah, but I have I want a bar and grill. I want TVs. I want people to come in and watch sports and like sit there and hang out.
Have you?
I don't want to use the whole thing. There's like my idea of stuff, what I want to do. The front half where my grandpa and them fixed the shoes, and my dad's office or his boot area was, and my grandma's little office is all in the front half that I can remember in my brain. Like there's a wall.
When was the last time you were in there?
Oh, man, probably 20-something years.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a while.
But you don't know who owns it?
No, I think the Allens used to own it. That lived next door to us, and then they sold it to somebody. And I think that building next to them used to own it, but I don't know if they still do that. That CBD thing. I don't know.
So you don't even know what the possibilities are.
Yeah, but you would have to, gut it, get septics, and there's a lot of stuff. I'd need $1 million, $2 million probably. That's what my guess would be, to fix it to how I'd want it to look.
So that would be a very difficult thing to accomplish. Have you considered other locations temporarily?
Yeah, I mean, eventually, if I can find a building that I would like, but I mean, there's just things I want to make sure that it's in the correct spot and I have enough parking and etc.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the hard part. Like, I mean, yeah, I would have loved to have the Tenders Dairy Queen building.
Sure, yeah.
I was trying to get my cousin to buy it to let me run it, and he didn't want to. He didn't want, because he makes his barbecue sauce in house in Oklahoma. And he would have to bring it to Whitesboro every day, and there was be impossible.
So when you leave Fort Worth, you come back here.
No, so we're jumping way in. Let's start.
Okay.
I left here after college. I went to Grayson.
Okay.
To play baseball, and I played like 1 year, and then I left and went to Tyler.
Okay.
And I played baseball at TJC, and I worked at Hollister because I was so ruggedly handsome. And I worked at Hollister as some money.
Sure. Okay.
And then I after TJC was my last year of junior college.
Mm-hmm. Then you moved to Abercrombie.
I moved to Durant.
Oh, okay.
I got you didn't have to pay out-of-state tuition for being one like county or over.
Okay,
so I was like, oh yeah, I'll just go to Southeastern.
There you go.
I wanted to go to Texas Tech.
Oh,
that's where I wanted to go. So I went to Southeastern. It's almost like that. And I was gonna play baseball, but I couldn't get along with the coach. I mean, he was a great coach. Mm-hmm. He's been there for 100 years.
Who is it?
Mike Matheny. He was there forever. He
played there. The Mike Matheny of the Cardinals?
Basically, but no. He was just a guy that played there. He was a legend there. But I just didn't get along with him. So I walked on the football team and was the punter.
Wow.
So
longest punt?
71 yards with a bounce.
Oh, what?
In the air is like 50 something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I punted a lot in high school.
Lefty.
Left-footed, yeah.
That's so weird. I've never seen anything.
Spiral went different. So when you shoot it out of the baseball machine, the spiral would go this way. So mine spun the other way. It's a little weirder.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I played there, and that was fun. We won a ring. We got a conference champs.
Wow.
So I have that to show off if I wanted to. But after...
Did you get any tackles?
No. I got tackled a lot.
I bet.
I got hit a lot. Yeah. My roommate was a really big guy.
How many penalties did you collect? This is a different time. They didn't penalize that as much then.
I didn't get any penalties. I was more of a
roughing the kicker.
Oh, they didn't never hit me.
Yeah.
Our defensive line was good.
Okay.
I was a pylon punter is what I called it. They made me punt to the out of bounds, hit a spot.
Right.
So that's what I did. We had another guy named Pete Kuva that could just boot it like 7 yards into the sky 7 seconds into the sky and like 100 yards, and it was just crazy. So he punted. He was a righty.
So he's the power guy. You're the accuracy guy. Okay.
Yep.
Now, I know you played baseball after this. So you played college football.
Yep. And then I this is kind of funny. So in Tyler, like we're going back in the past. In Tyler, MySpace was popular then.
Yeah.
And I got on MySpace and saw this thing, hey, who wants to work at the club? Looking for promoters. And I was like, oh, that looks cool. So I messaged the guy from Frisco. They were from Frisco. And his name was Steven and Sean and Uli is what we called them, and Goo. That was the 4 guys.
Oh, wow.
And so I would message them. I was like, I can get you 40 people from Tyler to come to the club tonight. and you get $2 per person that came on your list.
Oh, okay.
So I brought like 40 or 50 people. They followed me from Tyler to Dallas to go to the club. And I became a club promoter and stuff and was like real well known in that. That is a big jump from what you've been doing at that point. Yeah. And then I was doing that forever. Like I would work in the clubs. Like I'd go every Thursday, Friday, Saturday and just bring people on my list.
So what clubs are these?
Purgatory, Club Blue, Lizard Lounge,
okay.
Buddha 9, Torch, Europa, M5. I mean, we were just promoting everywhere. I mean, it was crazy back then. That was when Real World and Road Rules was real popular. I would meet all these people. I had to go pick them up at the airport. Like, I mean, it was pretty intense. Like, I tried to get on Real World. I literally made it to the last round and then got voted off. And so I almost got on Real World. That was pretty cool.
That's weird.
And then, so after promoting and stuff, I moved to Oklahoma. But I still promoted, so now I became the OK King, is what they called me, because I would bring people from Oklahoma to Dallas to the clubs.
My goodness!
And I'd have like 200 or 300 people on my list. It was just crazy. I mean, it was easy money, so I was like, okay. And then I learned to DJ. So I told my mom, I need $1,000. I want to buy some DJ equipment. I went and bought it. I watched the DJs at the club. I learned it. I started DJing in Oklahoma. And I would DJ weddings and proms and parties, whatever you wanted me to do. Hey, I need a house party. Okay, $100. Okay, I DJ all night. I mean, it was easy. It was easy. Just playing music, and I didn't have a laptop. I had a little Newmark Total Control, and I had my CDs. I put it in, and I had to write down on each number what songs they were and switch them back and forth. And that's what I did until I got a laptop. I saved up to get a laptop, and then I started like dragging the music in, and then I did that for a long time.
It's a lot easier when it's
digital. I still get phone calls, actually. People, hey, can you DJ my wedding? I was like, no, I sold my equipment like 20 years ago.
How much? That's the question. How much did you get back for that $1,000 investment?
I charged $500 for weddings back then, and I would charge $100 for a house party. I probably made $20,000-$30,000. I mean, I did a lot of proms in Oklahoma. Awesome. And now my name was DJ Deuce because my dog's name was Deuce. Yep. So that was fun.
So do you ever meet anybody who knows you as that?
No.
Or as OK King?
No. Not unless I go to.
Now you're just
not unless I hang out with those guys from Frisco.
So through all of your different ventures in life, you have different nicknames. Now you're Burger Daddy.
Now I'm Burger Daddy.
Which one of these do you like the
patty.
most? Oh,
I like Burger Daddy.
You're adding to it.
Yeah.
Burger Daddy with the patty. Okay, so at what point do you get back to the Texoma area?
So after I waited tables in Oklahoma, in Roma's is an Italian restaurant. I lived. So whenever I went to school there, I lived with the guys that owned Roma's. They're Albanian, and then my rent was really cheap. That's why I lived with them. I worked for them forever. I actually lived in Idabel for 5 months and trained all of the cooks and servers at that Roma's. And then in 2008, I left. I was like, well, I'm graduated. I'm done. I went to spring break, but I went and applied at a job called Hula Hands in Arlington.
Yeah, I know it.
That used to be on I-20. So I was one of the
down
first.
Down by the bowling alley and by the Parks Mall.
Yeah, I was one of the first to apply. And that was my favorite boss ever. Zim and Tony were my favorite bosses. Now, my favorite GM, her name was Chase Cherry. That was my favorite boss. I'd work for her if she called me, like, if I didn't have a job now and I needed a job, she called me, hey, I need you. I'd move to Arkansas, is where she lives now.
Okay.
And I would just go work for her. You know, that's who I would do anything to work for her. But I worked at Hula Hands. I got the job after I was on spring break. She called, hey, you got the job. I was like, all right, I'll be back from Panama City and let's start work. So I moved to Arlington and started working for them for a while, and I was stupid and got fired. I learned my lesson.
Oh, yeah.
Doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Fired me, so.
Where'd you live in Arlington? That's where I'm from.
I lived on Marshall-Dale Street.
South
off
20?
Cooper and Marshall-Dale.
Where is that?
By UTA.
Marshall-Dale.
Yeah, if you go down Cooper, you're going past Razzoos.
South?
Yeah, you'd be
down by 20? Or are you talking about by
Yeah,
UTA?
you're on 20. You go north on Cooper.
Okay.
Go past Razzoos, go past Burger Box.
Yeah.
Marshall on the left, like 2nd Street past Burger Box.
So up by Arlington High?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would jog and run around UTA and Arlington High.
Yeah,
I was right by the baseball field of UTA.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I graduated from UTA.
Okay.
a million years ago. And yeah, that talk about things that have changed.
Oh yeah,
Man, that campus is totally different now. Um, Houlihan's was, I mean, that was
popping.
yeah.
It was packed. We were pretty popular because we had some bartenders that could blow fire and juggle.
Oh,
and
it's one of those. Yeah, Coyote Ugly.
Yeah, well, they just did it just because. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a really nice restaurant, but after hours is what we called it. I mean, this place would just be packed with people. I mean, we were making so much money, and then you know, I was working at the Addison one too, and I was going back and forth, and I just became stupid and making too much money and got greedy and learned my lesson. But
yeah, everybody has to go through one of those in life.
Yeah,
right?
so then I went to Razoo's there, and I didn't like that, and then I still lived in Arlington, and Bar Louie was opening up on West 7th, and I applied there and got the job. So I worked at Bar Louie.
Wow.
And that's when the tornadoes and all that. That's when I left Bar Louie. I went to Oklahoma. So now we're caught back up.
Okay, I see. I see. So how do you, because I didn't know any of this, but hearing all this, to me, this is a huge, significant change. You've come from this tiny little town to going to a huge scene in Fort Worth, dealing with all of this in Dallas, bringing people from all over the state to go to clubs, and then you're working in Arlington at one of the most hopping places down there. What do they call that area? Highlands or something like that?
Arlington Highlands.
Highlands, yeah. How do you transition to that lifestyle and then transition back? Like, aren't you bored here? Is that why you go back so much?
No, I just like going down there and eating and stuff. I like the restaurants. I mean, but I'm also single, so I mean, there's a variety to
there's
go.
A lot of reasons to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but whenever I lived in Fort Worth and I moved back, I actually moved back to Frisco.
Okay.
So I got a job at 54th Street Grill. In Frisco as a server. I've been a manager and I've been a manager since then, and then they hired me as a server because they didn't want a manager at that point, and I needed a job, and so whenever I started working there, it's like 1 week in, and they're like, "Yeah, you're a manager. We're gonna just put you on management training and just get you in there. So you're gonna have to go back to Fort Worth and train." So I had to drive from Frisco to Fort Worth, and I could have just stayed and lived but I drove it.
Did you see that coming though? Did you say?
Oh yeah, I already knew I was going to be manager. So I just was like, okay, I'll just wait a second, like let them know that they're
you got the skill.
Yeah, so I worked as a server for a little bit, became the manager, started training, and then I thought I was going to have to stay in Fort Worth as the new manager, but they said you can come back to Frisco, and I was like, shoot, because I didn't. That driving was painful, and I was going to have to find another apartment. Like,
what year is this?
Well, 2000. I'll see. 2000, probably 2017 or 18, I guess.
Oh yeah. Traffic is ridiculous at that point.
Yeah. So I came back to Frisco. I lived like 2 minutes from the 54, so it was real easy. I worked there a while, and then I asked for a raise. Like, I think I've been there a year or something, and I had the lowest of management pay that I could get. I was making more at not my cousins, but Los Vaqueros. So I was like, I'm trying to get back up to at least that pay because rent's kind of expensive here. And I asked them for a raise. They said no. I still worked there for a while, but at that point I was already mad. So I was like, well, I'm going to go apply to other places and see what I can get. And I went to Babe's Chicken and applied in Frisco and gave them the amount I wanted. And they said, you're hired, because that lady just got fired or quit, and they hired me as a kitchen manager. So at that point, I have not been in the kitchen. I've been always front of house, except for 54. I had to learn both. So I had to learn as a manager to cook and stuff, but I was never really the cook.
Right.
I was always a front of house guy that just would talk to the customers. And I became a kitchen manager, so that's when I learned stuff about the kitchen and P&L and this and that.
Do you feel like that's something that a lot of people who can cook well, they want to start a restaurant, they can cook well, but it's all of the intangible stuff of how to run a kitchen.
Yeah, they need to go back and work in one with some cooks that
Yeah.
are going to quit on the spot, and then you're thrown in the bus with just by yourself.
So what type of restaurant was this, you said?
Babes.
Babes.
Babes
Okay,
Chicken. Yeah.
So that's a variety of stuff.
It's a variety, but it is all, I call it like a Detroit car building, like it's assembly line plant.
Okay.
It was horrible. It was a good job. I loved all the managers there. The working how they do it, oh my gosh, it was the worst.
Oh, yeah.
I was making green beans for 12 hours a day. Then they would put me on biscuit duty, and I'd made like 5,000 biscuits on Father's Day with this lady. And I got tired of buttermilk and biscuits and rolling the dough. I mean, it was all homemade.
Some scratch type stuff.
Oh, it was bad. But now I know how to make those biscuits.
Yeah, you'll never
I know
forget,
how to make
right?
Babe salad if anybody needs the recipe. I have them all in my brain.
Tell us the recipe. Nobody's watching.
Yeah, it's mostly sugar.
Mostly sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I worked there.
I mean, but that's like, that's drilling it into your head.
Mm-hmm.
You spend a day doing that, but
I worked there
incredible.
for a year, and then I was going to continue working there, but I could not. At this point, I was engaged, and we couldn't afford Frisco, so we looked in Sherman.
Who can?
And found a place that builds houses in Sherman.
Okay.
And the guy that builds the houses owned Cowboy Chicken in Sherman, and it just fell into my lap. He's like, I need a general manager. He's like, I'm losing $40,000 a month. I don't know where it's going. And can you change it?
He needs an attorney.
I was like, I can try, And he just literally hired me. I told him a price. He hired me on the spot. I could have probably asked for way more, but I didn't.
Wow.
I worked for him. I told Babes, they said, oh, that's great. They weren't mad or anything. And they actually gave me the 2 weeks pay, and I didn't even have to go work there. They said, take your 2 weeks off, but you're going to get paid for it. Go, because it was a really good job. So I went and trained at Cowboy Chicken, and I found out how the money was being lost super easy. That was like the first 2 weeks I was there. I saw who was like, there was just a lot of theft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I fired probably like 20 people that day.
Doge.
I mean, it was all the managers, all the cooks. Everybody was stealing from them.
Seriously?
They were, the food cost, it was bad.
So you're responsible for keeping Cowboy Chicken afloat all these years?
Yeah, now it's back alive. The two people working there now are great. One of them worked at Babes with me. She was a server, and then she moved to Pottsboro.
Is that a big change from Babes to Cowboy Chicken?
Oh, yeah. It's a lot different. And that's whenever, like, the COVID hit in 2020, and that's when it got kind of bad. I was working, and I was working probably 100 hours a week. It was just me and this other lady, and because everybody else had COVID or was sick, and they didn't want to close, and I just at that point I couldn't take it anymore, and I saved up enough money to buy a food truck. Yeah,
so that's one of the questions I had is how do you transition to that? Is it something that you just said, you know what, I'm tired of working for other people. I want it myself?
Exactly. I was just tired. I was finally tired of it. I drew a plan, and I said, I'm going to do it.
And you had that built like
8 weeks. It was fast.
I mean, but that was like you helped. Did you help design it, or what was it? It was like I
just told them what I wanted, and they built. I was going to put a smoker. I was going to do barbecue.
Oh, okay.
At first, I was going to have a smoker on that back tail part.
Oh, the little open area.
Yeah. And
I
just changed my mind. I wasn't gonna be known for hamburgers. That's not what I was gonna do. I just did burgers one day because I was my grand opening. So I was gonna do burgers, hot dogs, and this and that, and then I became known as for burgers, and everybody just wanted the burgers. So, and then if I changed the meal, they were like, I wanted a cheeseburger, and I didn't have it that day. I had meatloaf or something, so I had to go back to burgers, and I created the menu.
Yeah, so that's it. If y'all don't know, this is let's see if we can find the menu here. We'll pull this up. Your menu is based on, is this it?
No, that's the catering one.
Yeah, we got to talk about this catering too, because this is something you've been doing for a while. But
yeah, a lot of people don't know I do caterings. I just kind of do it on the side. There's my menu.
Here we go. Yeah, let's pull this up so everybody can see it. There we go. So a lot of these are named after people in town. Is that correct?
Yes.
Where'd you get this idea?
I don't know. I just always wanted to name stuff after people. I thought it would bring more people if I named it after people, because it's kind of like, a community together thing.
Absolutely.
And they're like, oh, that's cool. You named it after my dad. I remember that. Or, that they bring up stories. And then it's kind of neat to talk. Most of us are family friends, people I looked up to, and then some are my like aunts and uncles. Most of the Fries are my aunts and uncles.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you first started, there were people on here I didn't know, and now I recognize most of these names. Tell me about Squires and Royce and Reba.
So Squires was the drugstore. Larry and Dana Squires owned the drugstore here in Whitesboro before Axtell's bought it.
Oh, okay. Back when it was real small.
And they lived right around the corner over here, and I don't remember the name of the streets. That's what's funny. Right across the street from Godwin, and those, like, I call them the nicer houses.
Yeah.
But they lived in one of those houses over there. I know where it's at. Like, I could go to it right now.
Really?
But they were really cool people. They were our friends and families. And we used to go to their houses for Christmas Eve and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What about Reba?
Reba's my Aunt Reba. She's from Eastland, Texas.
Okay.
I just wanted to name something after her.
I like this. Texoma, Red River.
Yeah, so that's just stuff around here. Main Street and Bearcat. Yeah, wanted to keep Whitesboro a little bit around. And then you have Uncle Wayne and Uncle Royce. They're from here, graduated here.
What about Peggy and Joanne?
So there used to be a children's tree. It's still here.
Yeah.
But they were the main teachers of us.
Did you go?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. There's probably if you scroll through some photos, you'll probably see it on my page of us as little kids. I just don't know how far down it is, but it shows them in the picture.
Which one is the most popular?
The Dare Nolan, the Coach K, and the Papaw. That's my top three. Dare Nolan's my most top seller.
That's just like
it's just a spicy burger. Jalapenos, onions.
I have tried.
Chipotle mayo is the spicy Pete sauce. Pete is my nickname, by the way.
Why? Pete?
Yeah, it's called Pete all my life. It was Sweetie Petey, and then it became Pete.
Sweetie Petey?
Yeah.
You're the man of nicknames.
Mm-hmm. A lot of names.
I've had the Coach K, and I think I had the Pinkston at one point, but that was a little too much for me.
Yeah, the Pinkston's a hot links.
Yeah. Spicy Pete sauce. Okay, there we go.
It's a Chipotle mayo.
Why do you put to go all together? I read this as Togo every time.
I thought it was together. It didn't give me the underline saying it was misspelled wrong.
It didn't warn you?
No.
Which one is the least ordered? I'm not supposed to ask you that. I'm supposed to be all positive.
The most least ordered would probably be on burgers. It's probably, I don't know, the Wilcox and the Berkeley are top. Like, they sell a lot, but that one's kind of a, you want taco flavored hamburger. So.
Right.
But
is this something that Mike likes?
I don't know.
Oh, you just named it?
I just named it after him. I just had to create something.
You didn't particularly say, he likes this, so I'll name it after him?
No. Yeah, there's a few that Don Wood, he don't like that at all. But
have you thought about changing it, or are you just like, no, you're stuck with it, buddy?
Yeah, well, I was trying to make it easier on me. As you can tell, like the burgers, wraps, fries, and Dillas, they're all built the same. They're just on a different bun. Oh,
I see that. Yeah.
So I tried to make it easier on me so I could keep it all into the fridge and make them faster, because I don't want people to wait 20-30 minutes.
Right. Nobody wants to.
I want 4 minutes in and out, go, bye, see ya. Next. Like,
which one of these is the one that when somebody orders it, you go, okay?
Probably when they order the crispy chicken, it takes the longest.
Why?
Because I have to fry the chicken. No, it's breaded. I just have to drop it in the fryer, and that takes up all of the fryer because I only want one fryer.
Yeah.
So then if I want a crispy chicken sandwich, and I want onion rings, and I want a cherry fried pie. So now I have to.
Yeah. One by one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pain.
Mm-hmm. I need another fryer.
Have you got room for a fryer?
Yeah, I can now. I got to move. I have to actually take stuff out and shift it all the way to the left, and then I can put another fryer.
What parts of your truck have you had to repair or replace?
All of it.
Really?
Yeah, when I got it built. So don't get it built in Mexico. It's not bashing Mexico. It's just they gave me like all my stuff is in like Spanish in there.
Oh, how's your Spanish?
Oh, it's good. I know a little.
Okay.
All the air conditioning units are like in Celsius and like the fridges and stuff, which luckily I know what they are. And
Yeah,
the temps,
yeah.
But day one plugged it in, the lights blew out from the amp. Also, I couldn't pull it with my truck, so I have to borrow either Berkeley's or my dad's, or call someone that'll just help me out of the blue. Like I need help pulling my truck.
Now, when you cater though, don't you usually prepare it and then you deliver it?
Yeah,
but not with the truck.
I'll take the truck if they want it, but I mean I'm gonna have to ask my dad or somebody to help me, and then I'd rather them just call it in. Mm-hmm. I'll cook it and I'll bring it to you, and it saves them money because I do charge for my trailer to come.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's part of the experience, right?
Yeah.
They pay extra for that. Now, this is your. Let me pull this up as well. This is your. Is this new?
Yeah. I have done catering. I just was trying to create prices, and I should have went up on all these prices, but that's okay.
Can I go through these?
Yeah. That's just what I did yesterday for a catering.
And you said this is 20, 40 eggs, something like that?
Yeah, it was 36 eggs. That's my KC48. That's my most popular menu item to actually beside the dare.
It's like the McRib. It's only there sometimes.
Yeah,
right?
I only cook it usually on Fridays, and it's every other Friday.
Yeah.
It's named after the police officer that him and his daughter that got killed. But he's from Whitesboro. He's my friend that graduated.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get Doc to come on the show.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't know that yet though. So if you're watching, so what's the popular items here for catering?
No one's really called me for catering. I passed out menus and stuff. I mean, I've done a lot of barbecue, for people, but I don't really get any for my menu. No one's called me to order like crispy chicken wraps or
I see,
or any seasonal fruit trays or anything yet. So
maybe they're calling and you're just closed.
Yeah, maybe true.
So is this full pan 15 to 20 people? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
It'll feed that many? Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it, not super expensive, and a lot of people think it's expensive. But once you add it all up and you do the total and everything, then it gets kind of pricey.
How is your brisket?
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I smoke it for a long time. I have a Cook Shack smoker in my house.
What's a Cook Shack smoker? I don't know what
they're made in Ponca City, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, is that a brand name?
Yeah, you can get big ones, but I have a little one that holds 4 briskets.
Ooh,
it's about yay tall.
Okay,
and no smoke gets out, like barely at the little top of the hole, not on the sides or anything.
Really?
So it really cooks it in there.
Electric?
It works good.
What's it called?
Cook Shack.
Cook Shack.
Yeah.
You know these people?
My dad actually has he's like one of their people for them. So he can get you like a 10% off.
Oh, you know a guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about this new structure that they just recently built over there.
Well, that's all.
I say they, but
yeah,
it's
that's all.
That's
all Manuel. Yeah. He built it all. He did it all. I mean, he had one over in Sherman, and then they wouldn't let him bring it over here. So he's like, "I'll build a new one." But he did all of that. That's all him. I provided the little red and white tables that I got from Sam's for free.
What? How?
They just had them in the dumpster, and I asked them, or in the back, and I was like, "Hey, what are you going to do with those tables?" And they said, "Oh, we're going to throw them away." I was like, "Can I have them?" And they said, "Come and get them."
Now we can all go eat at the dumpster table.
Yeah, I got them before they were trashed.
There you go. Okay, yeah. Now this thing took forever, and I got to tell you, last night we were.
Yeah, he was doing it. He was doing it whenever he was slow at work or on a Sunday. He would come in.
I say forever. I just mean while they worked on it, it went quick. But it took it. I guess if you're just kind of doing it as you can.
Yeah.
But these things turned out pretty cool. This is all the process.
Yeah,
here.
he built it all, and then we painted the floor, and he added the grass around it, and
we
put the tables back. And we put the tables back and made it into a like a little covered area.
Now, if I'm seeing this right, there's
lighting. There's lighting, and there's outlets all around the bottom and top for your phones.
Really?
So you don't even have to bring your cube. You can plug it straight into the outlet.
Oh. Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, here he is painting it. So is this a bar? Is this like a counter that goes around? Am I seeing that right?
That'll hold eight chairs.
And then there's a couple more.
We put 7 tables inside of it, and then there's the games that he added on the grass. Cornhole and Connect 4.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So these are the tables you brought in?
Yeah.
Wow, and this one too? How many are there? 3, 4?
There was 9, or there was 10. One of them's at the barn at my dad's, and then the rest are all here.
And there's lighting?
Lighting, and then there's also lighting around the triangle-shaped tarp we put around it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we drove into town last night, and all the lights were on for the first time. I got to see it, and man, that thing.
And he just added around the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Covered. They're covered. They'll roll up and down, so they'll keep like bugs or the breeze out or whatever.
And there's a fan here. Is that right?
Yep,
That's
gonna be oscillating fan. Yeah,
that's gonna be huge in summer. Do y'all have water? Y'all don't have water access over here, do you?
No, we use the Snap Center.
Yeah.
Sorry, we use the Masonic Lodge for water.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It'd be cool to have this with a little.
Mister.
Yeah, the mister. I wonder if you could do that with a separate container. You know, just a large container.
I don't know, maybe. Or I think you
need something for pressure, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is pretty impressive.
Yeah, now it looks like a cool hangout spot.
Yeah, and that's kind of what has been missing over there forever.
Yeah.
It's hard to build Yeah, we talked about this when we had Chris Jefferson on from in one of our previous episodes, and we talked about how this is there's the concept of the third place. There's you spend all your time either at home or at work. Those are your 2 main places. But to be able to connect with people, to spend time with people in a third place, there has to be things to do, like a welcoming environment. It's you go into the bar, you go into a restaurant, you go out and have a coffee shop or something, like him from House of Brews, and it being a place where people can gather, get to know each other, meet up for meetings, just a place to spend time that isn't your home or your work.
Mm-hmm.
And this is finally.
I think the next, if we could ever get it built with the fence all the way around it, and it's only one entrance, you could technically start selling alcohol if you got your license for it, but you have to have it be fenced off. That would be the cool set. If you could do that, then it'd be a lot of people.
And y'all got this done. Perfect timing. The weather's great right now.
Mm-hmm. Except for today.
Except for today. Yeah, it's pouring rain.
Raining.
That's right. So you're not open on Saturdays usually. Every once in a while, right?
Yeah, I'll just periodically, if I have leftover from Friday, then I'll open Saturday. I don't know. I mean, if when I move here, then I'll probably maybe be open on some Saturdays.
Do you get tired of all the crap you get for hours?
Nah, I mean, that's just it's just funny. Like I just like arguing back. I mean, my mom tells me not to say nothing, because it doesn't want to start because word of mouth can get out there, and like I mean, me and Kevin, Carl, and I don't know who Bonnie is, and I don't know who the Mike Rowe is, even though I probably do.
Yeah,
but,
we probably all know who they are.
It's just all fun and games. There's just sometimes that gets into my skin,
Oh yeah.
But they'll say I'm never open. But a lot of people, like, if you're a first time person getting on Whitesboro Express, they're like, well, that guy's never open,
Absolutely.
That's what they think. And I'm like, just, quit, just don't do it all the time.
Yeah. Y'all are open a ton. What are your hours? Tell us your hours.
So I work Monday through Friday, 11 to 2. And then I'm closed on Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. And then sometimes I'm open at night. It just depends. Like this next week, I will only be open Friday night. But when summer hits, I'll be open a lot more nights. And if I move here, I'll be open like almost every night. It's just kind of, I don't want to just drive, like at 7 o'clock, downtown is completely gone.
Yes.
Everybody leaves.
Yeah.
No one knows that anything's down there.
At 5 o'clock, it's done.
Yeah. That's why I close at 2 and reopen at 5, because from 2 to 4, even in restaurant business, it's called a dead time. That's when you roll silverware and pre-prep to get ready for the night.
How much learning curve was there for your hours? How long did you try different hours.
Well,
and
I
then
technically wasn't even going to have
hone
hours,
in.
but that just makes people mad if you don't put hours
Well,
up.
isn't that part of the thing though? Is
A
that
food truck is supposed to just come down, open, sell out, and go home.
yeah?
And they think that I'm supposed to be open right at 11 at all the times, every time.
Do you think this is due to the fact that we don't have a ton of restaurants here?
Yeah.
People have this expectation.
They want you they want you to be open certain times all the time. Like most food trucks in the world will drive up. They don't really have parks.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, oh my gosh, Food of Dreams is here. We better go get food before he sells out from 11 to 2.
Yeah,
because he's not going to be here the next day.
There's some fish place that always shows up in Gainesville. And
yeah.
they announce it like a week in advance, and then they show up and they're there for 3 hours and they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, that's what a technical one's supposed to be. But I put hours just to make the people satisfied. But if I leave at 1:30, I'm going to leave at 1:30.
That's part of it, though. It's it is. You're right. It's a selling out thing, but it's also like part of it is that you are doing it on your terms.
Mm-hmm. So your own business.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to make everybody mad, so I try to stay open. Like,
do you have people complaining to you at the window?
Sometimes there's some that come super early and think I should open, but I'll have my window open because it's hot in there.
Yeah. You got to.
I just turned on at 10:30 I turn on the propane. I get the grill and everything ready, but it takes like 20 minutes for it to heat up to complete to me to drop fries in the fryer. It's not instant hot. So I leave my windows open and doors open and have a close sign in front, and they still are you open? No. Oh, and they get all mad.
What's your normal response? I'm sorry, or is it, hey?
Yeah.
Look at the freaking time.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes them really mad.
Well, they should.
I just like to get them I don't know. I just like to rile people up. But that's just being in the restaurant business and reading Yelp reviews and stuff. Like, I don't really care. If you go in and bash it, it's not going to hurt me because I know I'm good.
Yeah, you got a dedicated
following. It only
following.
gets hurting if you get a lot of bad ones and people don't know you and they look you up and they're like, oh, this guy has a 1-star. Why?
Right. You got the best burger in town for sure.
Well, appreciate it.
Who are the other burgers in town?
I hear
a Whataburger. Yeah, I mean Whataburger.
It's not really. I don't think there's any that Sweet Andy's makes hamburgers.
Yeah,
but I've never tried it.
I've not tried that Sweet Andy's hamburger. I need to do that. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah. I don't know anybody.
I hear
else
that Laha has a cheeseburger.
Theirs is pretty big. Yeah,
I've never tried it.
My parents like it.
I've had multiple people tell me
it's like I think it's a 6-inch bun. I use 5-inch bun.
Yeah.
So they use a 6-inch patty, or they smush it out to 6 inches or whatever.
So what's the secret to making a burger? I use a ton of salt and pepper.
I don't know. I really just.
He's not going to tell us.
I use salt, pepper too.
What else?
That's it. I smash the patty. That's the.
So you have to flip it once before you smash it. Is that right?
No, I smash it. I put it on. I use a ball and I put it on the grill and I smash it down. I add salt and pepper. Yeah, I smash it right onto the grill. I add salt and pepper. I let it cook till it you see the blood rise and opens up a little. You'll see it open, and so it's ready to scrape off the grill because it's caramelized into the.
Right.
And I flip it and I add more salt and pepper.
I've heard that it's not really blood. It's some kind of other fluid.
Congeal. I don't know.
What is that? You call it blood?
Yeah, it's the blood of the fat congealing.
Fat blood?
Yeah, the
this
congealing of the patty.
Less and less appetizing here.
Yeah.
Do you use any special? You said Pete sauce. What is that?
That's just chipotle. I make a chipotle mayo. It's just mayonnaise and chipotle peppers and some spices, and I blend it all up. Well, I just kind of thinking of other sauces. Cowboy Chicken makes one similar, but they use fresh jalapenos in theirs, and it's hot, and it goes on their chicken sandwich. So I kind of took theirs and played around with it and created my own version because some things they didn't add into it that I add, like pickle juice, and I add fresh pickles and jalapenos.
That's a big for chicken sandwiches. That's a big thing with Chick-fil-A. They marinate their chicken patty in pickle juice beforehand. And I've tried it, and it makes all the difference. It's exactly right. It tastes just like it. I mean, not quite as good, but it's the same flavor. You can definitely say, that's Chick-fil-A. Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you changed things like your fries over time?
S-
Or you make them any different?
no, there's crinkle cut. I haven't got any. I have onion rings and crinkle cut. I mean, people want curly fries and stuff. I would love to have curly fries, uh, crinkle cut, sweet potato fries. I just don't have enough room. I need
Right.
another freezer.
So yeah, so if you got a brick and mortar place, what would change as far as your menu? What what would you want to add?
I would probably, you know, keep the names of some of the items. It might be a little different. I don't know if you've ate at Hat Creek Burger Company.
No. Mm-mm.
I like their simplicity of their menu. It's a burger, a chicken sandwich, or a wrap, and you just build it
Oh, okay.
how
yeah.
you want it. There's no dares and this and that.
Yeah.
Which, if I could go back and change it, I would have it just burger, chicken sandwich, wrap, and you build it how you want it. Then I don't have to get a modified dare because you built it how you wanted it.
Oh yeah.
Because that's
So why not just change?
because I like when people come up and order Papaw because it just reminds me of my grandpa. Like to
Oh.
say his name over and over again. So it's pretty cool.
That's nice.
But yeah, I mean, if I added the brick and mortar, I would have chicken fried steaks, and I'd have the gravy for Mike, and then I would have meatloaf and probably a Philly cheesesteak, and
What drink? Shakes? Ice cream?
I would have shakes, just 3 flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. I'm not getting all
Yeah.
Oreos and this and that. I just simplicity of the shakes. But I'd have I don't know.
Why don't you buy the donut shop?
I wish that they'd sell it. I've asked them 400 times.
Really?
Yeah, they won't sell it. I've tried.
Make them an offer they can't refuse.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome place. I mean, that used to be Dairy Queen.
Yep. It used to be the Dairy Queen. I saw pictures of it. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. I have pictures of things from the past that I want to put on the walls, like
Yeah.
really cool stuff. And I have like old stuff from people from the other Dairy Queen. So I can
Really?
hang it up. Yeah.
You know what? When we first moved here, it was the old Pizza Hut, and I still like the Pizza Hut pizza, but it's just not the same. It's a very sterile environment when you go down there. That nobody wants to eat inside.
The old Pizza Hut was cool.
It was awesome, and we went in there, and there's Bearcat stuff everywhere. Pictures from decades before. It's like for a newcomer to town, it's like a learning experience. You just get to see it, and there's huge tables, and now there's 4 people sitting on a high top. That's all you get. Just totally lost the atmosphere of the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why we've moved to that, but it's like that. I mean, when we were kids, it was McDonald's were colorful and
Yeah. Cool seats and
Yeah.
hamburger faces, and you sit on them and stuff.
playing outside.
I
Now,
found some of that stuff on Marketplace, but it's so expensive because I would buy it. Like, I don't know if you see in one of the pictures, I have that double-decker burger. I got off
Yeah,
Marketplace the other day.
did you really?
Yeah,
Where you-
$200. I saw it, and I instantly drove to McKinney and bought it.
Where?
It's right there.
Yeah. Well, this. Yeah.
Yeah,
here
someone
it
put
is.
googly eyes on it.
Did you just show up to work and there it was?
No, I
mean,
oh yeah. I was on break, and I came back, and someone drove up and
is
stuff.
this just paper? What is this?
Yeah, paper. But that kind of reminds me of the McDonald's burgers and stuff
Oh,
back
yeah.
when they had the
This
seats.
is the Hamburglar.
But yeah,
Here it is. This
but
is
it was
hilarious.
cool. I didn't know
Did
it was
you-
that, I didn't know it was that big when I got there. It
You
would
thought it
barely
was-
fit in my truck. I had it in the back.
Was it on the stand?
Yep, it won't come off. It's stuck, or it's built onto it. But I looked it up online. I found a builder that builds them, and it was like $2,800.
And you
So,
got it for
$200.
$200.
Yeah, I'm a marketplace king.
$100 per burger.
Yeah,
This is
and that's a good deal for fiberglass.
yeah.
Because my goal is to have the big boys guy. I don't want him. I want me holding the burger.
Okay, I can see. How big?
8 foot tall, like a big one. I want a big. I want
Life
people.
size?
I want people to see it when they drive by. Like I'd put it on 377 in Union in that corner right there, and it says food truck park, and it just has an arrow pointing, so people will know.
The city will approve that for sure.
They'll do it.
So you'd make some minor adjustments, but for the most part, it sounds like you would just continue to do what you're doing if you had the brick and mortar.
Yeah, but I want hamburgers and stuff, but if I have a bar and grill, now that might change it. I might steer away from Food of Dreams. I'll keep the name, but it'll be in the background.
Right.
Like it'll be like Tanner's Bar and Grill, Food of Dream, like really small. Like I don't want to lose my LLC, but I'll probably have another name.
So what do you think the future of the food truck park is going to be? I mean, these are major adjustments here.
Well, that'll be for a while until they build that thing over, I guess, whatever they're building over at Pard area, and then they move all the trucks there, which it could hurt them. You know, hopefully by then I have a restaurant, but it could.
What's everybody's take on eventually moving to one of the parks?
Well, I think it's cool, but I don't know if people will see it. They kind of see this when they drive by, but over there it's going to be really hidden. They're going to have to promote us more. Like, they're going to put billboard or signs.
If it depends on. I don't know what the plans are now, but originally the talk was at Center Street Park, and then there was some talk about adding on to the north side of Godwin, where the soccer fields are, and with that, like an amphitheater and more parking and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know where those plans are now. But I think that all of that would be like, this is a destination at this point, not just we'll move them over here.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I if they could just redo this area, like tear the concrete out, smooth it all out, put fencing up around it where you can remove the fencing so you can pull your trailers in and out, but like almost like Denison's. Theirs is really nice downtown food truck park. I think leaving it downtown is cooler because it brings more people downtown that don't know about downtown. They only know about Whataburger and that area.
Yeah.
And so that's where they think all the restaurants are at. So that's what hurts, because if they knew they could just take a little left and come down Union, they could have more options instead of, Taco Casa, Whataburger.
Right. Fast food. Blah.
Yeah, fast food.
If you could change the amenities here in town, what would you add? What do we need here? What are some businesses that Whitesboro needs, other than the second grocery store, of course?
I know, like, for food or just
in general, businesses.
I mean, it would be nice to have like a clothing store, like jeans and shirts for guys and women, like, but not as expensive, like almost like Plato's Closet, but
right. So
they can like bring their vintage clothes in and sell them. I don't know that I think there's some stuff, but it's like, I'm not paying $75 for jeans when I can go to Plato's Closet and get them for $1.
Yeah, it's a careful. Boutiques bring shoppers in, and then they'll shop elsewhere. But especially for guys, there's not a ton of options.
But an arcade would be cool. Like they used to have I think they used to have an arcade down here. But I don't think I was around when that. A bowling alley would be cool if they could build that big enough.
Do you think people would go to that?
If there was one that's big enough that maybe they can hang out at. But if an arcade thing would be neat.
Glitches type stuff?
Yeah. That would be, I would go play video games at it.
You go to Barcadia a lot.
I went to the one this recent, but I didn't like the one here in Allen wasn't as good as the one in Fort Worth.
Fort Worth is fantastic.
The one in Allen had like 7 games.
Oh.
And we were bored, so I left.
That's
played them in like real quick, and they weren't free games, so you had to pay.
It's not free play.
Yeah, it was 20. I put in $30 and got points, and then there was like 25 points to play this game, 30 points to play this game.
That's just not the same.
Yeah, so it wasn't as fun. But the one in McKinney, there's I guess an arcade with bars.
Okay.
It's a bar with the arcade games, and it's free, so it's $12 like Glitches.
Yeah.
That one's fun.
Glitches is fun. I wish they'd add some cool neon. It's like an 80s feel. Make it look more 80s.
It's in the wrong side of town, too. It needs to be over on the other side. Texoma Parkway, when I was in high school, was popular.
Yeah.
Now it has faded away to the other side of town. If they could build Glitches over on 1417, where they're building all those new houses, would be packed. If I could build a restaurant on 1417 of anything, it would be packed. Like, they have nothing over there. You have to drive all the way to the other side of Sherman to get the food.
Do you definitely want to have a restaurant here in town, or are you open to moving?
Yeah,
to
I mean,
elsewhere?
it could be anywhere. I don't want it to be far enough away where people think I'm too far, because that's another thing. Like, you know, I like Catfish Haven, but no one goes that way unless they're, it's just kind of out of the way.
Yeah.
It's not in the town of, and you can't order it, call in to go and drive all the way. I don't know. They feel like everything's too far.
Yeah. And
but in town would be nice, in this vicinity of town.
It's weird coming from DFW and then having.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, I've been here long enough.
It's not far to me.
Right.
I'll drive an hour if I want to go somewhere.
Uh-huh.
But around here, that's too far.
Well, it's just, over time, your range of thinking shrinks, and everything is within 2 miles in each direction in town. And so now 10 miles is far away. But I used to drive from, Keller to Plano to see family, and that's an hour and 15-minute drive now, and it's not that's far. This is not far.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things is that you go to Catfish Haven, there's nothing around Catfish Haven. That has to be your destination. Whereas if you go to a place with a ton of options, you can go shopping and then stop by and have lunch at this place.
Yeah.
Or you can go to have lunch and then, hey, while we're over there,
that's what I want to be. I want to
be
be where people will, they can shop and then
Right.
they can stop off. Or I'm known on a platform like, oh my gosh, this is the world's famous place you got to eat at, and people from Dallas drive all the way here just to try it, and I want to be like that. So that would be cool.
Well, you say that you would need an investor. Have you talked to people in town? You know everybody.
I mean, some people have talked to me, but they haven't really. I was supposed to meet with them or something, and they just never showed up and stuff like that. But I've got a lot of loans at the bank right now, so that's another thing. Cause I need to pay mostly that back. But I mean, I can probably get a loan. It just, I don't know how much of a loan I could get.
Yeah, I get it.
But and then also hiring people. That's
and that's another big.
That's
a huge factor.
But I mean, I don't want servers. It's gonna be like order with the table number. I bring you food out to you. That'll save me at least the server away, and then you don't have to deal with that. I mean, I can train servers, but keeping them to work, and then I have basketball practice because I don't have to hire kids in school mostly. And I get it. That was the hardest job, was when I was the front of house manager at 54. I did host bus runners. That was my scheduling. I had to hire them and put their schedule down. And I had like 8 high schools in Frisco all worked at 54. So they were, I have prom today and I have prom next week. And I ended up, oh man, it was crazy. And then, I can't work. I'm sick. And I'm like, but you're on Snapchat. Looks like you're at the lake, stuff like that. Cause but I get it. And, but that's the thing, like cooks and stuff like that. I don't want it too big, but I don't want it too small. I want people to come in and, like, a bar is what a lot of people want. They want to hang out and get go watch sports, because there's nowhere to do that around here. And if I could get that, then I think it would be really busy. And a lot of people don't think it would be, but I think it would be.
I think that people, a lot of people look at the population of Whitesboro and say there's not enough people here for that, or that would be interested in that. But, outside of Whitesboro is growing like crazy. And so because of that, in just a matter of a couple of years, it's going to be a definite audience for that, good enough to sustain a business that wants to do that. Do you think that you would like to get out of cooking eventually and more of managing?
Yeah.
Just overseeing?
I mean, I only cook because I don't have anyone to work for me, and my mom works for me as a cashier. I mean, but I can't throw her into cooking at that pace.
Right.
She could do it if I had to go to the bathroom real quick.
Sure.
But she would freak out. I mean, I can. It can get stressful. Like,
do your parents know how to do all the stuff in there?
No, not my dad. My mom probably knows how to do most of it. My mom's a cook.
She's over there a lot.
Yeah, she works for me every day. But my dad my dad probably could help. He probably knows how to make the hamburger, but not to my expectations. And my mom will tell you that I'm probably hard to work for, but I'm not. I want it to be correct. I don't want to mess up. Like, I don't want to give someone the wrong burger and then they get mad when they get home and call, and then I have to remake it. It's just like we shouldn't mess up with that at that point. Now, if in a bigger building, I know there's mess ups, but in a small little truck, I shouldn't mess up at all. That's how I feel, but I do. I mess up sometimes.
I want to talk baseball with you.
Okay.
You played through high school, yeah?
Yeah, I played all the way through high school. I was a freshman on the varsity. I was a pitcher.
Really?
Yeah, I think I threw. It was around 91, 92-ish.
At what age?
16.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did you play?
I played all the way through school.
Really?
Yeah. I got the MVP in 9-3A in 2003. There was a guy that was from Salina. They were in 3A at that time. Yeah. And he was really good. He had all the most home runs in the league. He had like 30 home runs or something.
Mm-hmm.
I only had one, but
right.
My RBIs and base percentage and all that was better than his. So, but me and him battled out through our like whole lives. His name was Heath Heron. Okay. He was good.
You still know him?
I don't know him, but I know him from.
Follow him.
He went to Grayson too, but he left and actually he played at OU.
Oh wow!
For football.
Oh, football.
Yeah, his legs were like ginormous.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were you always a pitcher?
Yeah, pitcher and shortstop, and then me and my friend in high school, we were the only seniors on the varsity team when we were seniors. He was the pitcher and I was the shortstop. We would rotate.
Did your dad play?
No. My dad worked.
He worked.
Yeah, my mom was a high school cheerleader.
Yeah.
And my dad was a bootmaker. he rode bulls, I think.
Really?
But I don't know if it was a lot extensive. I have some pictures of him.
Do you really?
Yeah, he did like rodeo stuff. He was a cowboy. He's a true cowboy.
If you make boots and you ride horses, I guess you're a cowboy. Yeah. Okay, so you play all the way through school. How did the team do?
We weren't good.
No?
No. When I was in school, basketball we were good.
Uh-huh.
But baseball and football, no, we weren't. We lose every game.
So
we win a little bit in baseball, but
you said that you enjoyed football more. Is that still the case?
No, basketball was my favorite.
Basketball. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, basketball.
Oh yeah, I love basketball. I mean, if I could go play right now, if I felt like I tear my ACL, I would play. But I mean, if I like slightly move something, I feel like I'm too old to. I want to break my kneecaps off.
Now I got pictures here. I'm gonna ask you before I share one of these, but we got pictures of you with Corpus Christi. Is that right? What do we have here?
Yeah, so I'm in an adult league baseball team for like the last 13 years, and we are the Collin County
County Hooks.
But we have their logo. I wish it was Corpus Christi.
I see. Where's that one? I want to find one of you here. Let me pull this up.
Oh, that was an old photo.
Yeah, I was like, Corpus Christi. That's pretty extensive. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so I was on a team called the Hooks, and it was an adult league. We played in Cedar Hill, Irving at the park, Euless, Carrollton, and I was a pitcher on the team and played I usually played second. I got to the point where I didn't want to play no more. I just wanted to pitch, and I didn't want to bat or anything. So I was getting old. I was one of the youngest that started on the team, and then I was one of the oldest now. If I go back and play. Yeah,
always 34.
Yep, I've been 34 my whole life.
Let's see here. You had. I'm not sharing this, by the way. Not yet. Where is this? Because I want to find this. You got a lot of good photos of this. What sport do you think that you are best at? Baseball. You enjoy basketball.
If you could go back in time, and I could go back in time for when I graduated high school, I could have played basketball at college. I had a scholarship.
Really?
Yeah.
Point guard?
I was a shooting guard, but I was more of a defensive person. But I got a Butler Junior College in Kansas. I was gonna go there, at one point, and then because Kansas was my favorite team.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just liked Kurt Heinrich of the Jayhawks and all those guys. Yeah, I got a lot of photos.
You do, man.
But
get there.
I was gonna play there, but I realized, a 5'11" guy is not going pro in basketball, probably. I mean, even though and one was cool and stuff back then.
Yeah, that was the heyday right there.
And that's how I played. I played like Pistol Pete and one. I'd throw the ball behind my back, stuff like that.
Can I show this one?
Oh, yeah, you show them all. I don't care.
There we go. Look at that.
But yeah, that was just, I don't know what year that was, but that was me on the bench about to go pitch. I like to match too. That's obviously my gloves matching.
How fast were you throwing at this point?
Like probably 78 or 80. Not fast enough for the 35 and up league.
Right. Yeah. So you go to the Ranger games a lot, yeah?
I only went to 2 last year, but I used to go a lot.
I grew up in Arlington.
Yeah.
On Stadium Drive. You go down Stadium, it turns into Browning. I live 4 houses
I used
from
to
Browning.
go when I lived in Arlington. I'd go every Monday. They played home.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like $5 for a ticket, and I just moved down to the bottom.
Listen, man, when I was a kid, they would let you in at the end of the 7th inning. When the 7th inning ended,
Yeah, they still
they'd open the
did then
dates. Really?
until they changed the field.
Yeah.
No, you still get in now after the 7th inning because you can do that if you go to the bars and just hang out. You can walk in. You don't have a ticket.
Like all the box office people leave.
Yeah.
They get to leave at that point. They leave the gates open so everybody can get out.
Mm-hmm.
So we just went in, and so I've seen the end of dozens and dozens. We saw Nolan and back in the day Tom Hinkie and those guys pitching. But that was at the old stadium, old stadium, and then at the ballpark for a while. But I have not been to the new stadium.
It's like it's the Astros rebuilt.
Everybody makes fun and says it looks like a Lowe's or a Home Depot.
Yeah, it's like a airport. It's just not as fun. I mean, it's nice. It's air conditioning, but I don't know. It's not the nostalgic of the old one. You're not getting the cool heat and sweat and.
Yeah, and that was part of it. I mean, it sucked in August.
But yeah, I used to go a lot. I collect a lot. I have probably 200 bobbleheads. I have probably
Do you really?
1,000 autographs. Yeah, I used to get a lot of autographs and stuff, and then they don't autograph anymore.
Really?
Not unless you go to the Fan Fest, which is horrible. That was the worst thing I did last year.
They don't even look up.
Yeah, they didn't. I went to go get one person's autograph, but I picked the wrong line because you had to pick the correct person, and you didn't know who it was. And whenever they opened it up, I had DeGrom again. I already had his autograph. I was like, I don't want a guy that's going to be hurt. Like,
I got to see DeGrom pitch at Frisco last year, and I didn't know. We had tickets to a game to go see the Rough Riders, and showed up, and they said Jacob DeGrom is pitching, and I was like, I didn't even know DeGrom was here. Yeah. So he walks out, and he struck out, I think he pitched 3 innings. He faced 9 batters, struck out 7, and then just walked off. And it was bizarre because, you're expecting to see a bunch of nobodies.
I like the Rough Rider Stadium.
Oh, it's incredible. Isn't it? It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's classic. It's like turn of the century beautiful.
I hit a couple over in that one.
Did you really?
We played for fun.
That's fun. Yeah, I could not believe it. He went out to the mound, and I was just like, this is a Cy Young winner. And I get to watch, and it was a joke. I mean, there's nobody was even close. After the game, he comes over and sits down. And after the game, the entire visiting team came over to take photos with him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's like they're in shock as well, starstruck.
Yeah, it would be neat. I mean, I wish I could have went to the pros, but I mean, it's just. I knew it was going to happen at one point in my life, so I was like, I need to wait tables. And I waited tables on the side, and I made more money waiting tables. I went to school to be a teacher and a coach.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's what I graduated with, the teaching degree.
Really?
But I made
education?
Mm-hmm, I made more money waiting tables than I would be paid a teacher, so I didn't want to be a teacher.
Yep. That was my goal, too, is to teach at a brick and mortar.
Yeah.
And,
now if I could just go coach and not have to go to class and teach history because I have no idea anymore about math or anything.
That's fun.
Then I would do that. I could just coach. Now I'd have to go to college to do that because I think you can do that without actual teaching there.
See, that's funny because it's the exact opposite for me. My degree is in history. And while I would love to coach, I don't want to put in the extra time to do that. I don't want to have two jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so frustrating trying to look for a history position that doesn't also involve coaching. It's like across the board, middle school and high school.
Oh yeah,
somehow
that's what most of the coaches are: history teachers, or PE, or math.
Yeah, yeah.
But I didn't want to do that.
Well, how about this? We'll just do it together, and you can coach, not teach, and I'll teach and not coach.
Let us.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
You have been the last couple years pretty publicly just getting ripped. You share a ton of stuff. So what inspired you to do this?
I was calling it Fit for 40. I'm about to be 40.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I'm just tired of I was ripped at one point in my life. I mean, it's probably that picture you saw on my album. I think I was like 18 at that one. I was at spring break. So if you go back to the albums at the top.
Oh, yeah, let's see this. 'Cause
I mean, I'm with my shirt off, so it's going to get all these people excited.
Well, it's all right.
Might get a lot of views.
That's what we're looking for, right?
Yeah, just go at the very top to the albums.
And now,
right there. That was spring break.
This one here?
That was spring break when I graduated high school.
Where is this? Oh, here we go.
There we go. Now, if I could look like that again without the hat.
Oh, you got to keep the hat.
Yeah, I have a hat like that.
What year you think this is?
I was 18, so 2005 or 5, yeah.
November 2000.
It's probably 19.
Even though you like it.
Yeah.
Now you're still playing at this point, or very quickly after your high school years, yeah?
I was in college playing, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that was that was spring break. Well, we went. No, that was graduation, not spring break. That was like a high school graduation thing, I think. that was when I was a lifeguard at the pool. I was 16 there. That's when I was 16.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I had hair.
Yeah, well, we all did at 16.
And no facial hair.
But I mean, you've been busting it. So you go to Nautilus, but in Sherman, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I can go to the one here, but I just went to the big one in Sherman because I know the owners of it.
I haven't been over there. I've been to this one.
I like it. That one has, this one is smaller, so that one has a sauna, pool, and a little bit more heavier weights. Mm-hmm. I think that one only goes up to 90-pound weights or something. Here in town. And like I can do the hundreds now on dumbbells.
Yeah. So what's your goal?
I don't know. I just want abs.
Just get as strong as you can.
I want to be the burger daddy.
But I mean.
But yeah, I got a divorce. If everybody wanted to know, so I got divorced, and I said I want to get back into shape. So I've literally just been working out for like the last 2 years, but I'm not like where I want to be yet. But I do try to eat correctly. I mean, it is hard. I sometimes will grab a Pepsi or Coke in the fridge, and then when I come home after working, yeah, because I eat chicken, rice, fish. I mean, I try to meal prep. You have to eat, like, it's all about the eating.
Don't you get sick of cooking at home for yourself?
That's the
cook thing. All day.
Like after I cook all day, I don't want to cook, so I try to already have it cooked. Like tomorrow, I'll cook for like 4 days, and I'll just eat that over and over again.
Just do it all.
Yeah.
You just make huge amounts of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just dedication of it, I guess. But I also have some friends that are pretty muscular.
Yeah, do you have workout buddies? They go there with you?
Not there, no. But I talk. One of them's from Whitesboro. His name's Daniel. But he lives in Fort Worth. Him and his wife, and he's super fit. But his wife used to be a fitness competitor.
Really?
Or, I don't know what you call them, bikini competition. So they eat really clean. So yeah, I ask him questions a lot.
Get their advice.
Yeah, because he's like, you gotta eat, and, so I eat protein and my weight, so I like 200 grams of protein
a day.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Describe your daily what you eat on a daily basis.
I wake up, I have 4 eggs, so there's 24 grams of protein.
Like raw, like Rocky?
No,
just drink them.
I'll get scrambled usually.
Okay.
4 eggs, and then there's a ratio, the yogurt.
Okay.
It's 25 grams of protein in it, and then I'll add strawberries and raspberries in it, and I eat it. and then I'll eat a protein bar, and then I'll go work out if I'm not at work.
Right.
I'll go work out, come back and drink a protein shake.
So, okay. And dinner?
And then I eat like lunch after the shake, like a little bit.
So you're eating all day?
Yeah, so then I'll eat some like rice and chicken at lunch, and then at dinner, like I'll eat fish and vegetables or another rice and chicken, just depends. So it's probably like, at that point the shake is like 70 grams of protein in it.
Yeah.
So at that point, then I'm almost I'm like 140, so then I have to drink another shake before I go to bed.
And you're full all day?
Yeah.
Stuffed?
Like, ugh.
So you eat super healthy, and then you feed us a bunch of stuff that's bad for us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I offered to meal prep for people, but, they don't want to pay that much. So
Yeah, I bet.
And I'm not going to do it for cheap because I've got to sit there and cook all these food and prep it and bring it. And
yeah, there's certain jobs like that. Once you're done for the day at work, you don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, and then working in the restaurant industry, I would eat bad all the time. I mean, as a waiter, you don't get that. Yeah. You're like,
well, they give you free meals. That's part of
they
it,
give
right?
you free meals, or they're like, oh, well, we messed up on these nachos, and then just all the waiters just go to town on them.
Yeah,
and that's how we would eat, because you didn't really get to sit down and have a break. So you're just constantly just throwing food into your mouth and running around like madmen, waiting tables at Houlihan's back then.
Yeah. So you want to be in Whitesboro?
Yeah, that's my goal. I mean, just to move. I don't have nothing anywhere else. So
how have things changed? You grew up here.
It's gotten bigger. The schools have gotten better at sports.
Yeah.
So they're a little. I feel in our time though, the crowds were more popular. Like we would get a lot of fans coming. Like, oh, everything's closed. Let's all go to the sporting event.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Now it's not as packed like it used to be, which they should be because they're winning. Like,
yes.
And they go to the playoffs. I've never seen that. Basketball, we went all the way to area. That was as far as I've ever been. And then whenever I was an 8th grader, I was a shot chart keeper for the varsity basketball, and they were good. Like, there's some people that 6'6", 6'7", dunking it, and like it was crazy watching them back then. I was like, oh, I can't wait to be a senior. I thought we were all going to be 6'5", and then but that was the fun times. Like the gym was really old too, so it was you would have had to seen the gym. It's at the old elementary. Mm-hmm. It's torn down, but it was like in a box in a pit, and the walls were built up around it, and then there was like a railing on both sides. And so the fans set up on the old wooden bleachers, like the box ones, and they look down on you, like watching the game, and it's like
the overseers.
I mean, it was loud in there. It was awesome. That was fun times. We used to break in and play basketball all day.
You broke in?
Well, it was. I mean, you just opened the door. Oh. They didn't. The coaches, I don't think, cared at that time when we were young, because Center Street Park used to be able to hang out, play baseball.
Yeah. I played football in junior high and just into high school, and was quarterback for a while and was okay. And then I realized I was 5'10", and all of a sudden the linemen are 6'2", and I can't see over them anymore.
That's why I punted.
Everything's scrambling out to try to see anybody.
So and when I was in school, we were, I think, 0-20.
Ooh.
I don't think we won a game. I could be wrong, but I punted a lot. So
you got a lot of practice.
That's why I could walk on it super easy at Southeastern. So it was like I just walked on. I was like, hey, punt. Okay. And then I punted like 2 punts. He's like, oh, you're on the team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he's still a coach there, Coach Atterbury. He's a cool guy.
So you have multiple jobs where you just walked in and said, hey, I want this.
Yeah.
And you got the job as a punter just by going in and saying, hey, I want this.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just go to somebody who's rich and just say, hey, I want this. I need you to pay for it.
I did that to the Cowboy Chicken owner. That didn't work.
Well, don't give up.
Yep. But I asked him. I tried to get him to buy that old Catfish King building by Sam's. There's a building right by Sam's that used to be a catfish place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
I wanted him to buy it, and we opened a restaurant, but it didn't. I mean, I told him, I was like, you'll make a lot of money. I promise. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
can take all the cooks from Cowboy Chicken and bring them over because, you know, I hired them all, so I know they'll work. And, you know,
What's your favorite place to eat in Sherman?
I like Whataburger.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't been there.
They Albanians that own it.
Yeah.
I like Lil Store. It's a gas station.
Yeah, okay.
It's the old man used to own it, and he sold it to this Hispanic family, and now they kept the burgers there, but they added fajitas and stuff. It's real good.
Really?
Yeah.
See, if you're a food guy, you don't go to the main places. You find the other
Yeah,
places.
I like eating, and I actually like eating hamburgers. I mean, I go try other hamburgers. It's kind of like my cousin. He goes and eats at barbecue restaurants to just kind of get, this don't have enough smoke, you know.
Sure.
So I just try there some. But to be honest, Schulman's burgers are real good.
You know what? We went to Schulman's just recently, and I agree that some of the food they have there is good. We ordered a vanilla shake, and they brought it out. It didn't taste like a vanilla shake, and I called the guy over and I said, something's wrong with this. This doesn't, something weird is in this. Like there's an ingredient that's, and he's like, describe it. And I was like, I don't know. It doesn't taste like vanilla shake. It's a shake clearly, but something is up with this. It's got some kind of other flavor. Like you didn't rinse out the thing after it had soap. Something weird is in this. They brought it. They said, okay, I'll trust you. And they took it away. And I said, they bring me another one. They brought me another one. It's exactly the same. I was like, okay, something's just weird with their vanilla shakes. Yeah. So I was like,
they might have been a malt. Sometimes
no, it wasn't a malt because I would have known that flavor, but it was.
I usually only go because I go there on Tuesdays because it's
shoot pool over there.
No, I go watch a movie by myself. Yeah. Usually because you can go on a Tuesday for a movie. I have a drink cup.
Yeah.
And food is like $11, so I'll go there like every Tuesday.
What have you seen recently?
I've seen everything. I've seen every movie. I just saw
Inside
Last
Out
Breath
2.
I didn't see that, but I could watch that at my house. But I seen Last Breath. It was good.
Dogman.
Deep sea divers. I want to see that, but my little niece, I gotta ask her if she wants to go.
Why, you can't go yourself?
Well, I can, but I would think I'd bring a kid so I don't feel like awkward with other kids around.
Well, just sit by yourself in the corner. That might be more awkward.
Usually on Tuesday I am by myself. There ain't no one in there.
Right.
I'm at lunch.
There's often not many people in there.
No, yeah, it's kind of a lot. Movies have died out like they used to. But
what's your favorite movie ever?
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And I like 80s movies, so I like Back to the Future. Revenge of the Nerds is probably one of my favorites. Yep. I like.
It's 40 years old now. That was 1985. Both of those are 85.
And I was born. That's when I was born. I like a lot of Michael J. Fox movies. He's probably my favorite actor.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who's ever said that.
I don't know. I like him.
What else have you seen? Okay. Now I gotta.
Let's see.
Challenge you
I've
here.
seen the Back to the Futures.
Okay.
Teen Wolf.
Yep.
And then some of them I don't even remember the names of them. He's a doctor.
Doc Hollywood?
Yeah, Doc Hollywood. And then there was one, and I can't think of the name. But I've seen he's dating a rich lady. He's dating a rich lady, and he lives in their house. Like, he swims in their pool and stuff.
Is he older?
He's younger. He's supposed to portray as a young person in that one, and the older rich lady.
How about this one? You ever seen this?
I have not seen that.
This is
and I might have, but
1980. It's like this big scavenger hunt. It's one of my favorite movies. Pee Wee Herman's in it, and a bunch of nobodies from the 70s. I haven't
seen it, but I'll
David
have to watch it now.
Yeah, he's like 13 in it.
Oh,
it's one of his, this is way before Family Ties and stuff. And then what about? You got to see. Do you know this one? How about this? This is classic.
Yes, I've seen that.
HBO back in the day when movies were never, nobody ever watched the movie at the theater, but then it came on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
This is him and Nancy McKeon. This is like, you were probably...
Back to the Future stuff is like my favorite. Like if there's a Back to the Future bar that pops up, I'll go to it. And there's one in Fort Worth.
Yeah, and you've been there?
It's cool. It's not as I just missed the day before whenever Lorraine was there signing autographs and taking photos. Yeah, but
All right, so name a couple more.
I can't think of the names of them. I'd have to see them on.
I mean, other than Michael J. Fox. What else do you like? Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. I like the new ones too. The new Ghostbusters is actually pretty good.
The one with the chicks.
I don't like the girl one.
No,
but the one where they're like the grandkids.
Yeah.
That one's good. And I don't know. I watch anything.
What's your favorite?
I like all the sports movies, Hoosiers and stuff like that. Air Bud was good. I mean,
what were some baseball movies in the 80s? Field of Dreams, of course.
Field of Dreams.
I think that was like
I went there. I mean,
89.
probably go to my photos.
Yeah, I got to go there
cool.
too. It was pretty incredible.
I sat in the house and watched the movie.
They let you in the house now?
Uh-huh.
Hell, we went there like 2006, and they wouldn't.
Oh yeah, you got to go inside, but they wouldn't let you go upstairs. I don't know what was up there. There was like a little stairs, but I sat on the couch and watched Field of Dreams.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Did you get to walk into the corn?
I walked in the corn. I walked out of the corn. I made a video for my TikTok, and I don't really make TikTok videos that much, except being stupid. But
How many stadiums have you been to?
I've only been to 3. I want to go to all of them, but I've never. Rangers, Astros, and St. Louis Cardinals.
What'd you think of that?
I like the Cardinal Stadium.
What were you doing up there?
That's when we went to Field of Dreams.
Oh yeah,
we
on the way.
Went there and then came back to the St. Louis, and I went to the game.
It's weird because the old stadium was right next door.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. We stayed at the Oyo Hotel, and I just walked down the streets all the way to the new stadium and saw the old one and stuff. But I sat on the front row. I was trying to get Albert's autograph. It was just like one of his last games.
Yeah. After he came back.
Yeah, so I was yelling at him, but I didn't get it. I literally bought tickets so I could try to get it. But they had that stupid net.
Yeah, they've extended that net too far.
That's stupid.
How about you just pay attention to the game and don't get hit?
Exactly.
Yeah, so we went to, my wife and I went on for a honeymoon, we went on this huge long road trip. I think I've told this in the previous episode, but it was 48 states and all over Canada. And we had the agreement that we would go to all like the national landmarks, everything that you would expect to see, Grand Canyon, Rushmore and all that. But we also went and saw every NFL stadium and every Major League Baseball stadium.
That's cool.
We didn't watch a game at all of them because the timing, who was in and out of town, but went there, walked around, took photos, got to, getting in feeling for the environment, the neighborhood. And Kaufman in Kansas City is great. St. Louis is great because it's got the fountain there and it's got the arch right there. It's all beautiful, lined up, But man, there are some bad stadiums, and there are some incredible. Pittsburgh's incredible.
Yeah, I want to go to the Baltimore one really just to see it.
Yeah, we got to watch a game. There's one of the few stadiums we actually got to watch a game. They were playing the Rangers that night.
That's cool.
And that's beautiful. They had a Babe Ruth statue outside because he's originally from Baltimore, but they had a European sculptor make it. It's like huge. It's like 10 feet tall, But they put a right-hander's glove on it, and he's a lefty, of course, And so that's the thing that's famous about that is that he's got he's there with the bat, but he's got his glove in his back pocket, and it's clearly a righty's glove. So there's a lot of cool stuff at those stadiums. There's some beautiful places. But you're right, Frisco, man, that is a place to be.
Yeah, that's I just like the way it's set up.
And so much of that stuff is family friendly. There's always some other activity going on between innings, before and after the game, to let the kids run the bases and stuff. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's the way the Arlington Stadium was when I was a kid.
Yep. Baseball
has changed for the worse. What do you think?
Yep. Whenever I used to go get autographs, and it's kind of funny. I don't know if it's true, but I want to say it is. When we had Yu Darvish, I was trying to get his autograph. I needed his autograph. I had everybody else. I just needed his, and I stood in line before the net thing.
Yeah.
And I stood in line by all these people and kids. He signed all the way down and skipped me, and then kept going. And I was like, "What did I do?" So I went back the next day, and stood in the same kind of area. He looked at me and skipped me. I was like, he's got to think I'm a seller or something. So then I tried to stick the arm out and hide behind a person, and he still skipped me. So that was I went 3 times in a row that week, and I was like, all right, well. And I told him when he skipped me, I literally yelled, "If you skip me ever again, I'm going to hex you, and you'll never be good, and you're going to get traded." And then they literally traded him, and I swear he's not as good as he used to be.
I agree.
So
Wow.
he's got hexed.
You put a curse
if he signs me something, he'll unhex it.
You'll unhex it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he hasn't been terrible, but he has never been the same.
No, I cursed him.
Well, that happens. That happened to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
See, I grew up in Arlington. Like I said, right down the street, we could hear the announcements from our front yard. I used to sit in my living room and open the windows and watch the fireworks. That's how close we were. I was a Red Sox fan all my life, even with them and being from Arlington. I love some of the players, especially in the 80s, but, man, they just made so many bad decisions during the 90s and 2000s.
That's how I am. I love the Rangers, Mavs, Cowboys, but I like just players. I don't really I can cheer for whoever, but I like players from teams. I don't really like, oh my gosh, I'm a diehard Rangers fan. I mean, yeah, I'll wear Rangers gear, but I like other players and I like other teams.
Who's your favorite player from a different team?
I liked Wade Boggs.
Yeah,
I liked Cal Ripken Jr.
You know the story about Wade Boggs and fried chicken?
Mm-mm.
He once went out with his friends at his teammates, and they had fried chicken. It was like all you can eat fried chicken. In Kentucky, all the KFCs are all you can eat.
Are they? I ate
like
at the
a
Corbin.
buffet.
I ate I didn't know that. I ate at the Corbin, Kentucky, but it wasn't.
What?
I ate at Corbin, Kentucky, at the KFC original.
Really?
His house.
Oh.
They turned into a KFC.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Maybe they got different rules there.
Yeah, but they showed you how they made the stuff. They had like the walls, all of his like equipment.
Really?
Behind it. Yeah, it was in the house. It was cool. I had
chicken.
Cooked,
he cooked from in the house?
Yeah, that was the first KFC showing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But then they turned it into a KFC.
What was I saying?
You were telling us about Wade Boggs' chicken.
Yeah. So he ate with his friends, and they had all you can eat, and he ate a ton of fried chicken. And this is before a game, and he didn't feel good. He took a nap, and he got up, and he went out and went 5 for 5 that night. So he was like, I'm eating some chicken tomorrow. And he ate chicken the next night, went 3 for 3. He's like, okay, I'm eating chicken from now on. And that dude, no joke, ate fried chicken before every game for the next 16 years.
That's crazy.
When he got traded from Boston, he went in Tampa and is also in New York. He went out and tried every fried chicken place he could find and found the right one and had them deliver it to the ballpark every night. He would eat fried chicken every day. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
That's taking it too far.
Yeah, that's a lot of chicken.
Yeah, I can do that. That's too much. He got fat too.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like eating at Babes.
Yeah, so what place would have made you the fattest of all?
Babes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I gained like 50 pounds there.
How much weight have you lost?
Like almost 40.
40 pounds?
Yeah, I weighed 240. Now I weigh 199.
So when did you hit under 200? Like, how recent was that?
Like a couple weeks ago.
What did you think when you saw that?
Cool, I need to get down lower to 180.
Ah, look at that. That's determination, man. That's some focus right there.
Yeah. But so I sat in this. But the cardio is, that's another key besides eating. I don't like cardio, so I'll get on the Stairmaster for like 20 minutes every time. It's like speed 7.
Yeah.
And I'm dead.
See, I would like that, but there's too many chicks on that, and I see them, and I'm like, if I get on them,
yeah,
it's not really a manly
I'll
thing to
sit in
do.
the sauna.
But it works, right?
The sauna works good too. It's a lot of sweating, so you sweat it out.
You think that makes a difference?
I don't know. Feels good.
Feels like it does.
It loosens my muscles, like so I can stretch and stuff.
So what are you going to look like 2 years from now? Are you just going to keep getting bigger?
Hopefully my arms get bigger in my shirt.
Are you just going to be like, just keep getting bigger and bigger?
Nah, I ain't going to be like crazy.
Fit by 40 and then just destroyed. You're
fat by 50.
Schwarzenegger by 45?
Yeah, I don't want to be like that. I mean, it'd be cool.
I can't move around inside my truck anymore.
Yeah, I'd have to get I need the brick and mortar.
So speaking of which, you got to start working on it, man. We got to find you a place here in town.
Yeah.
They're going to miss you though when you do eventually leave at the park.
Yeah, they'll find someone else to pull in.
What are you going to do with the truck if you do? What would you do with the truck? Keep it for catering?
Keep it, yeah. I keep it because, I mean, this guy painted my whole face on it. I don't think anybody will buy it now.
Yeah, you just recently, last 6 months or so, got it repainted.
Art Jones did it.
Who?
Art Jones from Tom Bean, but he lives in Sherman.
Okay.
He's a painter.
That's cool.
Yeah, he customized it for me. I gave him what I wanted, and he did that. He did on my Facebook, that on the background of the Food of Dreams one.
This piece?
He did all of it, the corn and everything. But on my Facebook page, there's the people walking in the cornfields. Yeah, up at the top. Keep going all the way up. Right there.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, he painted this?
Well, he painted. I bought that at Hobby Lobby, and then he added the bags and burgers to their hands and painted on the bottom. So that made it funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then you see their logo on their shirt. Mm-hmm. It says that's going to be one of my new logos I'm going to get shirts made. That's going to be the Food of Dreams logo. I'm going to get hats and stuff. Did
you create that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that was quite the experience to go there and stand in the field.
Yeah, it was neat.
And see it. It's something every baseball fan should do. You been to the Hall of Fame?
No, I mean, I haven't really been anywhere. I've been Florida, Vegas, St. Louis. Like, I haven't been like to cool things. I mean, I've seen some stuff, and I've been around Texas and done cool things, but.
Well, you've been working all your life.
Yeah, I've been working.
No time to travel.
Yeah, don't travel that much. I usually go on my birthdays in July, so I'm going back to Vegas for my 40th.
Really?
Yeah, I like Vegas.
What's your favorite place to go in Vegas?
I mean, it's not really a favorite. I like to walk around and look at everything, but we used to stay at Harrah's, but it got kind of bad, so we're staying at Flamingo this time.
Yep.
But I like to stay in the middle so I can just walk to everything.
That's a big part of it. People say it's a stratosphere, and it's like you got all the way down.
Yeah, it's crazy. When I went with the guys that owned it, Roma's.
Yeah.
I went with them one time, and they stayed at the old Vegas, and I was like, it's not that far. I can see New Vegas from here. I walked. It took like 2 hours to walk
downtown. Yeah, It's way bigger than it looks on a map.
Yeah, because I didn't want to pay $20 for the cab at that. And I was like, I'll just walk it, and it took me forever. I walked through like the hood of Vegas.
Yeah, the area between you don't.
Yeah,
you don't do that.
I didn't know. I was just walking.
One of the secrets to Vegas is you can walk along the actual road, but there's overpasses, underpasses, in and out. Just walk through the casinos, walk through the hotels.
Mm-hmm.
You can stop. There's restrooms. There's water fountains. You can get a beer if you get tired. You can take a break. Plus, there's stuff to look at, air conditioned.
Yeah.
Just wind your way through the actual hotels. It may be more steps, but it's a better walk, especially at night.
But yeah, I like to eat. I go to eat a lot of places just randomly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do this year. There's one food truck there called 303 in the Cut, and it makes tiramisu, like homemade, and also cheesecake, and it's real good. But I gotta go back there and eat at his truck again because I'm friends with him on Instagram. I met him 2 years ago.
That's cool.
But yeah, there's some other like hidden places I want to go try. There's the Shaquille O'Neal's restaurant called the Big Chicken Shack, which he's supposed to open one here in Dallas or Fort Worth.
Really?
But because he lives in Carrollton. But I want to eat at that.
Shaq lives in Carrollton?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know. He's supposedly opening up 2 chicken restaurants around here.
Did you know that one of the folks involved with Tender is Torrey Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need him to sign a ball. So,
as a Red Sox fan, back in 2013, Big Papi hit a grand slam in the ALCS, which tied it up, and we went on to win the World Series that year. And Torrey was outfielder for Detroit, the losing team, and this famous scene where Papi hits this bomb, and he runs to the wall and tries to get up and get over it. He ends up flipping over the wall, and you see him, his legs kick up, and that's all you see. And he disappears behind the wall. He injured himself. I don't know if it was super serious, but he injured himself in that play. And it was like the big news because all across the Boston Globe newspaper, that all you see is his legs sticking up over the wall. So maybe I can get him to sign that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
he probably would not want to sign that one, yeah.
Yeah, but it'd be funny.
Yeah.
He might, though.
He might. He's been up here a few times. They just did a video, like a hype video.
I want him to come eat at my food truck, so that's what I've been waiting on. But he hasn't came yet.
Tender should be up here soon.
Yeah,
should be
I
open
like
soon.
tenders.
Yeah, I haven't eaten at one yet. I've been waiting. We had
Solana.
them at the food truck. They had the truck out at the
Yeah, that
ball
don't
game
count.
last year.
You didn't get the true full of the experience. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't the.
Yeah.
So the one in Solana is pretty good.
So what we doing in 2025? What's changing? You do anything new in 2025?
Not that I'm aware of.
We've got a ton of reasons to come out to the food truck park now with all this extra stuff. That's pretty awesome of them to do that, to put that time and effort and money into giving us a place to make it a fun environment to spend time here in downtown.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I'll either have my house on the market and then I can find something to live here or buy my grandma's. I mean, it just depends. And then probably, keep working out and
get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Get some traps.
Get some the goals 2025. Traps and move back to Whitesboro.
Yeah.
Well, if you move down the street, we'll be neighbors.
Yeah.
Don't be a stranger. Thanks for being here, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
It.
We learned a lot about you.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yep. Now you know.
That's great. Thanks for being here, man.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.